Hi, today I'm going to talk to you briefly about guardianship. Sometimes there are circumstances where people lose their competency or capacity, uh, such as elderly people who develop diseases such as Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. They may require a guardianship to protect their needs. Short of a guardianship, people have a power of attorney. If you're of your right mind and you know that you'll need somebody to help you, might sign a power of attorney giving them rights to do certain things. But if you don't have a power of attorney and the person becomes incompetent, you may need to have a guardianship established. Now, the courts are aware of certain circumstances wherein an emergency guardianship needs to be established. Sometimes elderly people are the victims of elder abuse, and people who say they're there to help them are stealing their money. In situations like that, there's an elder abuse hotline which can be called, and the state of Florida will investigate that. But you can also petition the court for an emergency temporary guardianship. And in that petition, you will tell the court that this person has some sort of disability or something that's affecting their competency, and that somebody is taking their money or violating their rights in some way. And that emergency petition for temporary guardianship will be reviewed by the court, and the court will decide whether or not it appears something needs to be done quickly. What happens in the usual normal course is that the court will send 3 psychiatrists, psychologists to evaluate the person to see whether or not they are in fact competent. The psychologist will have a dialogue with the person and make a determination which they will submit to the court. 2 may say he's competent, 1 may say he's incompetent. 2 may say he's incompetent, 1 may say he's competent, or all 3 of them may say he's incompetent. But the court will look at those reports. The court will also, if the person is without funds, appoint a guardian ad litem to look out for the proposed ward's rights. And the court will have a hearing to determine whether or not the person is competent and what rights they should have and what rights they shouldn't have. Do they have the right to marry? Do they have the right to vote? Do they have the right to contract? The court will determine whether or not they have the right to drive. And based upon the determination of the court, upon the doctor's recommendations, the court will decide whether or not you need a guardianship. If you go through that process and the court decides that the guardianship is necessary, you will have to petition the court for a guardianship and have a guardian appointed. And the guardian will be there to protect your interests and to act in the best interest of the ward. Each county has a guardianship program which requires the guardian to take a course to understand what their rights and responsibilities are towards the ward. Additionally, the court will require generally a budget for the ward's expenses, which may cover housing, medical needs, and things of that nature. The court will require an inventory of the ward's property and the appointment of a guardian, and the court will also designate a depository for the assets of the ward. So a lot of times that's a social security check, bank accounts, all of that will need to go into the designated depository. If any money is to come out of that depository, it can only come out with court approval. So the guardian will be required to go to court to say, hey, judge, we need X amount of dollars for the ward, and the court will have to approve that, issue an order, which goes to the bank, and then the bank will disperse the funds. So if there are circumstances where a guardian is required, you can contact the lawyer of your choice, or you can contact me to help you with that situation. Sometimes minors require guardianships if they're involved in accidents and they get a huge substantial settlement, anything over $15,000. The court will want to put that money into a guardianship so that the parents or people don't spend the ward's money or the child's money before they reach majority. So that's another situation where a guardianship is necessary. So if you have any questions about guardianship, please feel free to call me. I'd be delighted to talk to you about it. Thank you. I hope this video helped you today, and if you're having any kind of legal questions that you'd like answered, please feel free to call us, and we'll be delighted to help you resolve your problem. Thank you.